Hi YouTube and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. My name is Chanel and I am the resident tarot reader for this YouTube channel, as well as for the Divine Resolution Tarot business that operates in Minnesota. If you'd like to work with me, the website to book a reading is in the description box down below. This reading is intended for the sign of Capricorn and it is in regards to love. We're going to take a look at the energies from now up until the end of December. So we're releasing this a little bit early. It's my intention that readings will be a little bit shorter so that I can get more content out to all of you. To all of my new viewers, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read for you. And to my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you for your support. Thank you for all of your generous donations. And for everyone that's booked a personal reading with me, it's been a pleasure and an honor to read for you. I'm just going to finish out this shuffle and then I will let you know what I see. Energies can be vice versa. This can be Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're watching for Capricorn, this may feel like a message for you about your Capricorn. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups in the reverse. And I just do this initial shuffle so that Spirit can tell me anything that I need to know about the situation before I get into your spread. So give me just 1 second to take a look, and then I will tell you what I see. All right, Capricorn. So it looks like there was a decision that you had to make about whether or not you wanted to leave a situation. And I'm feeling like initially you thought that you were going to, or that the person was going to leave that you were dealing with. Now I'm seeing that you've returned or they've returned, or you've gotten to a place where you realize that you don't necessarily have to go, because it seems like you went from not getting the attention you felt like you deserved to being acknowledged. The hard part, though, is that I'm seeing now that energy has almost changed. So it went from you thinking that you needed to walk away from something to kind of getting a renewal of hope, only to be feeling let down and kind of feeling like things changed, but only for a very short amount of time. Now you're coming to the realization that things have not changed in the way that you thought, and you're trying to decide if it's enough to make you stay. Just looking here with this Queen of Cups in the reverse. So for Capricorn, or anyone watching for Capricorn, I'm beginning to feel as though you're looking at your partner as trying to maintain a sense of control by giving you pieces of what you want. Okay? This is very much the energy of it's like this person, it's almost like they watch you to the point that they see you're on the brink of leaving. And just when you're about to put your other foot out the door, they're like, wait, how are you doing? I missed you. Let's hang out. I feel like this has been a cycle with this person because you've gotten into a space where you've been ready to walk away quite a few times. You may also be in a place where the person asked you to be with them. You know, they could have finally given you that commitment you've been waiting for, that you get so close to, and then they pull away. But at the same time, even though what you wanted is finally here, you're feeling as though nothing's changed. All right, I'm going to shuffle the deck and then I will get into your spread and I will tell you what I see. It's like even though you got what you wanted, it's still not enough. It's like it's almost in name only, but the action just isn't there. I do feel like this is someone that you feel very close to, though, because when you got the opportunity, to be kind of called back into their energy field. You looked at it like a stroke of good luck or progress being made. The hard part, though, is that this person is, they're just not really with it. I think for a lot of you Capricorns, you were hoping that the commitment would be what really changed the situation you were in. And now it's almost like you're feeling that it's an illusion. You're seeing that even with the commitment, the relationship isn't changing and things aren't getting better. And that's got you feeling really heartbroken and like you may need to bring this to an end. Yeah, that's what I was saying, because now here we are with your situation, and this is you feeling like you're better off on your own. You could be feeling like even if you're in a relationship, you're still very alone, right? So that bottom of the deck was the Three of Swords. This is you feeling quite heartbroken about the lack of progress. The situation is the Nine of Pentacles. So for a lot of you, you're just getting into a place where if this person can't be what you need, you're fine on your own. You'd prefer to be with them, but it's like they're showing you who they are. And even though you've done everything you can to get into a space where you can really have this solid foundation and be with them, there's just nothing that you're feeling you can do. This is very much the energy of every time you feel like you're making progress, there's this step backwards. So a lot of you over the next few weeks are, that's kind of what I was going to say. You're coming to grips with the fact that this situation is just not progressing the way that you want it to. And I think that while you hope that this isn't the final chapter with this person, you're still very much in the space of kind of, I don't want to use the word ignore, but you're not making love a priority right now, because this has gotten you into a space where you're like, hey, I don't know that this is in alignment with me. I'm in a really good place with or without you. And I don't know that I have it to keep giving to this, because I'm starting to feel like this is consuming so much of my life that it's affecting me adversely, right? You still have a lot of love for this person. And I do believe that if they can get on the same page as you will make a new plan with them. This is someone that with this Queen of Cups, you could be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or you could have that in your chart. But this is someone that you really would give to this situation, but you also need to see something tangible. You need to see them show up. And going from this Queen of Cups to the Nine of Pentacles, it's like you're almost pulling back emotionally because you're really tired of being in this energy. And you're tired of hoping that it'll be something that it's not. And I'm not saying that it can't be, but right now you're in a place of realizing that the commitment or whatever attention they've shown you is still not enough to facilitate the healing that needs to happen in this situation, okay? What the situation looks like to you is the Nine of Wands. So you are very passionate about your life. I feel like for the Capricorns I'm reading for, you're in a really good place and you're being very optimistic about this, even though you're feeling a lot of disappointment. I feel like you're working very hard to pick yourself up because you realize like, hey, maybe it really isn't me. It could just be this person, and it doesn't mean that I need to knock myself out of alignment for this. So over the next few weeks, you're going to be really looking at your own life with a renewed passion for what you want, For some of you, I feel like you're not, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it's almost like you're tucking this away and you're not really trying to be in an emotional place about this. You're being very pragmatic, like, well, it is what it is. It didn't work out. Time to move on. The hard part, though, is with this moon in the reverse and the Chariot, as well as the Tower, this is very much the energy of emotional avoidance. I just am cautioning you to, with these cards here, take the time to feel your feelings, okay? Because you don't want to kind of like push them down and then have this subconscious blockage later in life, okay? And that's all I'm trying to say, is that if we don't deal with the things that make us feel like this, and we try to keep moving very quickly, we oftentimes will manifest more situations that make us feel this way, so that we can really learn the lesson and process what the purpose of this interaction was. Now, what I will say is that for some of you, because you were emotionally available to this person in a way that you haven't been before, right? And this is someone you could really see having that long-term stability with. Some of you may get into a space where you shut down emotionally and start avoiding anything that looks like it could lead to commitment. So Spirit is just asking you to be very aware of that, okay? This person may have really hurt you by not progressing forward. So it's going to be very imperative over the next few weeks for you and for your healing to be able to kind of come to terms with your disappointment, but also to realize that this really could just be what's going on as a cycle in the relationship that's coming to a close, not the relationship itself, okay? I don't want you all to stop feeling your feelings, because, yeah, you feel like this person has rejected you by not taking action, right? It may also look like the person you're dealing with is happy to be single, and so that will cause you some heartache. And if you are feeling heartache, it's very important to try to process what that is and why you're feeling that way, okay? What it feels like to you is the Devil in the reverse. So you've been in this space of having someone kind of pull you in and push you away and pull you in and push you away. And a lot of you are really feeling a huge release from a situation that, like I said, was taking up too much of your time and really knocking you out of alignment, okay? The hard part, though, with this Star in the reverse, like I'm saying about that kind of avoidance of the emotional piece of this, you definitely feel the disconnect, but you also need to make sure that you're not just moving very quickly forward to distract yourself from the feelings you don't want to feel, okay? I feel like a lot of you are telling yourselves that you're just really ready for something else. This person, I feel like, is doing that same thing, where as soon as you start to get over it, they're going to come back with something a little bit better than what they offered you before. The hard part about this is when you start making progress inside of yourself and healing your wounds, they get ripped open all over again, okay? So that's something that you're going to want to take a look at over the next few weeks. Because if you keep allowing this person into your space, and you'll have to make that decision for yourself, this could affect how you emotionally invest in other relationships in the future. Because when we're consistently feeling like we're devalued or rejected or disrespected, that does a lot. That's what I was going to say, to our own self-love, right? Our own self image and our self-worth. And over time, not only do we grow to resent the person that's doing it to us, but we begin to resent ourselves for not leaving sooner. With this Knight of Cups in the reverse, this is kind of a manipulative energy. And I feel like this person really is doing this, and it's about control. And when we get into the extended reading, we'll kind of take a look at why, what is their purpose for their behavior. But yeah, I feel like with these cards here, as soon as you get any type of agreement established, this is them running off, right? And the hard part is they are not including you in their world. You know, it's like they're keeping you kind of over here, and they go back and forth. And as soon as you feel like you're becoming integrated into their life, it's like they shut you out and they act brand new, right? I'm sorry, Capricorn. That's a really hurtful energy. What I will say too, though, with this Devil in the reverse, that is the Capricorn energy. So to you with this, you may be feeling as though this person has knocked you out of alignment, right? Or like you're taking yourself out of the equation because this person is having a very hard time figuring out how to act on what they want and be consistent, which for Capricorn, that just doesn't work. I mean, for a period of time, but eventually you're not going to stay in that space for long, right? What you'll want to do is the Sun in the reverse. So even if this person comes in with this offer to you, it looks like you're very much in a space of not wanting to give to this anymore. We have lots of cards that talk about that with the Ace of Cups in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. You will hear this person out. You could let them apologize, but you're still in a space of setting boundaries with this person because this has just been such a disappointing situation with the lack of commitment and the lack of emotional availability. We have 3 aces coming out, and this is just very much the energy of wanting something new because here's the thing, they don't have it to give to this commitment right now, and you're beginning to become aware of that. Tell me what, okay, I was going to ask what is the truth of the Ace of Swords, Queen of Cups. I feel like you've gotten to the edge of your emotional availability with this person. For some of you, you're coming to light about the fact that there was another person involved in the situation. And so you're giving them an ultimatum. Because for some of you, that's why they weren't integrating you into their space or their world. And so now you're like, well, what are you doing? Are you going to keep going back to this person? Some of you just want time to process what exactly happened with this, because you're more worried about getting back on your own solid ground and stable footing than you are worried about saving this relationship at this point. You know, it's whatever they've done, whether it's them shutting you out or them involving other people, you're just in a place where it's like, it's not for me to fix this. This is for you to fix. I'm going to fix myself. And you come back to me and let me know what you've come up with. But at the same time, I think as much as you're open to hearing what this person has to say, you're putting yourself first because you realize you don't know. You don't know where this commitment's going. You don't know what they're doing when you're not with them. This is all just a headache that it feels like you don't need. I just don't want you all to get into a space of feeling that all relationships lead to heartache, okay? Or that all relationships have you feeling alone or betrayed. Because with this hanging man, whatever this situation is, it's giving you a new perspective about love. So whatever you take from this, just be very careful, okay, that you're not giving yourself a headache in the future by adopting a destructive paradigm. Yeah, that's what I was saying, that all love hurts or that all love ends in heartache. I think for the majority of you, regardless of what this person says to you, you've come to the conclusion that now is just not the time for this relationship. Yeah. I think this person just hasn't been very forthcoming, whether it's their feelings, their actions, They've kept you in a space of waiting. And because of that, you're just ready to shut this out. The reality of the situation and what Spirit wants you to know is the King of Swords in the reverse. So this person, you may be recovering from something that's been exposed, or you're just in a place of feeling like the behavior is unacceptable. But Spirit is asking you to get very clear about what you're manifesting here. Okay, because what I'm seeing with this Queen of Swords in the upright and the Three of Wands in the reverse, do you believe that relationships can work? Okay, do you believe that the things that you're putting out to the universe, you actually will receive? This person is very close to being your match and what you want, right? Spirit is asking you to take a long look at whether or not you've had trouble kind of seeing the red flags about this person because you believe this is the best that it can be. Okay, and I'm saying that because of what I'm seeing here. But the hard part about it is that if you're manifesting from a place of feeling like you'll always be single, or you're always going to have to do everything on your own, every relationship ends in you picking up the pieces of your life, and then you're not emotionally available with this Four of Pentacles and this Hermit, based on everything you've seen, every broken commitment, right? Where are you manifesting from? Okay, what's the space that you're in? It's like this partner continues to come back around with these slow offers of love. Are you accepting them because you feel like this is kind of as good as it gets? They're very, very close to what you want. Okay, now I'm not saying that this person can't end up being what it is you desire, but Spirit is asking you right now to take a look at what your beliefs are about life and love. Because if you're coming out as single and stable, are you vibrating in a place of like, I don't need anybody? And then so you're attracting partners that treat you like you don't matter or they don't need you. Now, sometimes it's as simple as just changing the way that we believe and the way that we think. We're able to omit a frequency that can turn this partner into the upright, right? It doesn't mean you have to throw the relationship out completely. But I do think it's very important that you examine your own beliefs, because with this in the reverse, it's making me feel as though your emotions don't match your thoughts, right? You want love, you feel like you want love, but you don't think that you can manifest the partner that you desire. For some of you, you're having a very hard time moving on from toxicity that you've experienced in previous relationships. And you're allowing that to shape the way you're viewing this relationship as well, okay? So be very mindful of that behavior, because it may not be what you think it is. With the Sun in the reverse, it's making me feel as though you don't have all of the information about the situation. So before you make a decision, make sure that you do have it, because it may not be exactly what it looks like with that Temperance coming out. Yeah, and the High Priestess in the reverse, there's still things you don't know. Okay, so it looks like there's a little bit of hastiness with this situation, because you would rather just shut it all down and be like, okay, I've seen enough. It's been this much time, nothing's moving, I'm not getting hurt, whatever, right? And that's completely understandable if you've had a lot of situations where they have fallen apart or you've been hurt. Just be mindful of keeping your defenses up to the point that if a situation can be healed, you would rather just throw it all away and start fresh, because you don't want to be emotionally available again, okay? For energies that could help, we have the Death card. Now, in the initial spread that came out in the reverse, showing me that something that needed to change had not changed. And that was part of why you walked away, right? What helps is this transformation. There needs to be, in my personal opinion, an honest discussion about what the real issue is here. Now, that's very difficult if you have a partner that isn't open to the conversation. But what can help with this death card is for you to make a change in the way that you're operating. And I'm saying this because the 8 of Wands is in the reverse. So that shows me that there's cycles that are being repeated here with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And again, another 8. This is, you're almost afraid of giving up control or giving away your power. And I feel like because that's kind of the frequency that you're vibrating on, that's what's causing your partner to try to enforce control by the way they're operating. And it's becoming like a energetic tug of war, if you will. Okay, it's always kind of this energy of like, I don't need you. I don't need you. Wait, you took me serious? Hold on, I want you back. Okay, now we're together, but I don't know if you need me, so I'm going over here. You get what I mean? It's time for you to really, really examine, like I was saying earlier, what your ideas about love are and what your ideas about kind of partnerships and everything that you've seen versus everything that you want. What do you believe? What do you think? Because this is keeping you stuck. Okay, it's keeping you from taking the actions you need to be able to move safely into a relationship. And because your partner doesn't feel safe, you don't feel safe, it's just going to keep going the same way every time until someone makes a change. Now that might require you to take that risk, right? And with this 9 of Pentacles in the upright, you might feel like it's a risk that's not worth taking. Because you feel like it's not worth your sanity, it's easier to just go find someone new. The hard part, though, is if you don't get to the bottom of this, you're going to continue to manifest partners that are very close but not quite right, because they will always reflect back to you what you haven't dealt with, okay? What you don't know or what you should consider is the 7 of Swords in the reverse. So if someone has done something wrong, it looks as though they are sorry, okay? That's something that you should consider. How many times do you allow someone to apologize to you? If someone comes in to try to fix what they have broken, do you allow that to happen? Or is it better for you to just keep moving and to write that relationship off? Also, consider if you're deceiving yourself. You know, this is very much the energy of being like, okay, I tried, whatever, I'm moving on. Now, that doesn't mean you don't care, but I think that you're minimizing the way that you feel a little bit so that you can keep moving forward. And eventually those things catch up with you, okay? Because you can't live in this space of carrying all this on your own. I think the main thing for what you need to consider in regard to this person is that based on what they've shown you, if they come back and apologize to you or try to fix the situation, will you ever be in a place where you can be emotionally vulnerable enough to make the change that needs to happen, vibrationally speaking, in this relationship? Or have you just gotten to a place with this person where you're always kind of waiting for the disappointment and you're always kind of at war with yourself? Because the thing about it is something needs to change. But if you are not in a place where you feel safe to open up to this person because they've done something to you based on kind of the way the relationship was, or the lack of like, I almost want to say like openness or integration that you both experienced, this may not be the opportunity for you because you don't feel safe. You know, you're always on guard. You don't feel safe to be able to open your heart chakra, right? For some of you, though, you feel like this is your person. And some of you are right. You're going to have to figure out how you can move past kind of the way you're viewing them right now, if this is something you want to save. And that'll mean that, like I said, you all will have to have that conversation to really get to the bottom of what commitment means to both of you. And then you can find out a little bit more about whether or not you're on the same page, because with this moon, it's showing me that you're not sure. And you don't want to let your emotions get the best of you. So I feel like you're very much suppressing them. Love is very difficult. And it's one of those things where we can't always go into it using just our analytical self, our intellectual mind, right? Energies that can hurt is this right here, 9 of Wands. So for some of you, you feel just so tired of the situation. You know, you're not sure if you want to keep fighting for this. For others of you, you're completely like, I just don't even care. I'm going to do me. This is in the past. We can have our discussion, but this isn't moving forward. What will hurt, though, is regardless of whether or not you stay or go, if you stay in this energy of feeling, you know, I'm very tired, I have to fight for this alone, nothing works, no matter what I do, I'm always on my own, right? This is you fighting the battle by yourself. And for some of you, it's going to be imperative, if you want to see change in your relationship, that you start by integrating your partner into your life as well. And that means into your heart and into your emotional space. Okay. Tell me about this Empress in the reverse. Yeah. You know, what's going to hurt is if you keep this wall that you've built and you keep it up and it's like whatever your partner's done, it's giving you material to fortify this wall, right? Whatever unkindness or unfairness that you've experienced, it's only giving you all the more reason to keep your blockages in place and your barricades in place, because you don't feel safe to be vulnerable. You feel like, you know, this is always going to be that opportunity that isn't going to get off the ground and you have to keep moving. If this is a relationship that you want to save, I suggest that you take the time to figure out how you can let your guard down. Okay? If this is not a relationship that you want to save based on what you've seen, when you disconnect from this person and you do get into a place where you feel safe to be able to really kind of understand why you're operating the way you are, deal with that before you can get into your next relationship, okay? Because you don't want to keep attracting those same cycles over and over where things never quite get off the ground. And then you're tired and you're feeling left out, right? That's not fair to you. Whatever you've been running from in your life as far as emotions go, that's what I was saying with the 6 of Cups in the reverse. Whatever past hurts or regrets, relationships that didn't work out, family structures that have left you with ideas about what love is, you know, or feeling like you always have to put up those walls, right? For some of you, you feel like you would be foolish not to walk away from this situation. And for others of you, you're having a really hard time summoning the strength to keep fighting, but you want to so bad. You need to find a balance between your head and your heart. And whatever this past issue is, whether it's been a relationship with family or romantically, this is really hindering how you're able to communicate. You know, how well are you able to be honest and open with your feelings? All right, I'm going to take this over to the extended reading. We're going to take a look at how the other person is viewing the situation over the next few weeks, how they're feeling about the situation as well as you, what they're wanting as far as for the relationship, their immediate actions and their future actions. Before I go, though, I'm going to pull you some oracle cards, Capricorn, advice for you to think about over the next few weeks up until the new year. Truth. All right, I like it. Listening. Tell the truth. Integrity is the key to living an authentic life. Now, this King of Swords in the reverse lacks integrity. To me, I don't feel like you're coming from a space of trying to be cruel or manipulative to your partner. But I do feel like if you want to live an authentic life, you'll have to stop looking at the past because it's closing your heart chakra, right? And it's causing you almost to say things that aren't in alignment with what you really want. And that's a very easy thing to do when we feel like someone's betrayed our trust. It triggers those old wounds, right? If you do leave this situation, I feel like Spirit is advising you to at least have that discussion where you can give that honest, like, you know what, I was so in love with you and I feel so silly and I'll never let you hurt me again. Even if it comes out like that, just being able to be in touch with that can facilitate the change even in that relationship, okay? We have listening. Listen to your wise self. Let your inner compass direct the course of your life. You've been spending a lot of time thinking about the situation, replaying things in your mind, comparing and contrasting to old relationships. Spirit is asking you to get out of your head, okay? You have to start really listening to what you want. And even if it is this person, even after they've disappointed you, Capricorn, you will have to find a way to be okay with that if that's really what your soul desires and that's the pull you feel to that person. You're going to have to be able to forgive yourself, right, for continuing to love this person, because we can't just shut off love. We can't shut off emotions. We can't just, oh, well, move on to the next. And that's kind of this energy here where I feel you all are shutting down. And it's not so much about your partner. It's very unfair to you because then you're cutting yourself off from your higher self and you're not listening to that inner compass and you're not living the authentic life that you deserve that really is a reflection of your happiness and your highest good, okay? It's been my honor and my pleasure to have the opportunity to read for all of you. A link to the extended is down in the description box. Feel free to like the video if you do like it. Comments are always read and appreciated. I love seeing you all support one another down in the comment box. It's just lovely. And feel free to subscribe. In the meantime, I will speak to you very soon, I'm sure. And if you meet me over at the extended reading, then I will speak to you there. Take care, Capricorn. Bye.